Hello folks, welcome to Debuff the Star Citizen Report. Yeah, and I have your host Thamin here.
Memo, how is everyone this evening?
Woopnyo, how's it going?
Got all three of us to bring you tonight's episode. And mostly we're covering the Vanduul tonight. There has been a lot of updates. I mean, there's a lot of times, especially around the holidays and right after, we were going and saying, kind of starved for information, and all of a sudden there's like more updates than I can put in one show here.
We've hit more, like 39 million, something like that, too.
Yeah. 39 million, which is that trinary system natural wonder. And that's quite the thing they dangled out there for whoever first flyer explorer discovers it. So you know anyone's going to be out there trying to look for that.
That looks pretty cool.
Yeah. So going to Vanduul discussion, what I'm going to go ahead and start doing here is throw up a little slideshow. They shared with us the Vanduul Scythe work in production. And a lot of stuff from the early drawings with this very unique wing out on the side there. And can share, but in fact, one of the recent questions on the on Wingman's Hangar, someone was asking about this ship, and they were asking about the maneuvering thrusters because it was so, they felt kind of like out of balance, you know, off-sided, and
oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's got a giant razor blade, like an X-Acto knife down one wing, and as we'll get into it later, I mean, their entire culture, from what little's been released, seems to revolve around blades. So, you know, their ships reflect that.
Yeah,
Very
it looks
cool.
like there was I found this little bit. When they come of age, their only inheritance is a knife their parents craft. After that, they are hunter-gatherers. They are judged by what they obtain, and a Vanduul is famous by what they've achieved.
It's you keep what you kill. It's a lot like the Riddick, Dark Chronicles of Riddick, something like that.
So, yeah.
They kick you out of the family, and you go out and take over the world as much as you can.
Yeah. And we like that they definitely had a different, it's coming up, the pilot seat, where it actually extends underneath the craft, and you climb onto it so that you're holding the handlebars, you're kneeling forward when it brings you up into the ship. I thought that was quite a different thing too.
Interesting. I don't know if we have that artwork where it does the character comparison model, but they are quite a bit larger than humanoid species. They appear to be reptilian, maybe, which is very cool.
I think so too. Yeah, about a little reptilian, and I do got some pictures of that too here.
I wonder if that middle bar is like a hot rock or something in there.
Mm-hmm. It's like a motorcycle. Wait.
Yeah, here. I went through the Scythe, Scythe, however you want to pronounce it. Wingman's Hangar always does it differently. I always used to think it was a Scythe, and apparently I'm wrong. But here is a few pictures of the Vanduul race. So it does have, one of them does have the size comparison on it as well.
It's got go ahead.
They appear to be reptilian, which is actually one of my favorite kinds of character models. Kind of hard to tell. You know, we don't have any background planet info or anything like that on them. But very predator with no face tentacles looking.
Yeah, definitely with its armored helmet, it shows in some of these.
Yeah.
It does look like that. And yeah, it's like we don't really know where they were from. They were first appeared in the Orion system, wiping out a population of 638 on Armitage planet.
So they couldn't just go with 600, 650. They had to do an exact number of 638. That's awful specific.
It's coming right for us. Kill it.
And I'm
We're gonna
stretching
get all
too.
638 of them too.
And I'm stretching too, because even though it said 638, apparently one body wasn't found. So he might be out there.
Yeah.
Spawn a whole.
That just brought up a terrible thought for me. You know, alien abductions of humanoids. I don't know if I want to think about that poor one guy.
I'd be that one guy. What do I do?
There's no telling what's going on with him at the moment.
Well, I imagine the first time to run into any, not that you may know, a player flown Scythe in the game, and he'll probably be one of the ones that's like, oh gosh, I got to try to ram somebody with this blade, and they'll be constantly trying that.
That does sound like fun. Going in there with your blade wing and just shredding stuff.
How are you going to do that without shredding it off yourself? Like,
I know.
So much damage to your ship too.
That doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense there.
Yes, they're going to have to really bolt that thing on good.
Maybe it's an alien metal. Whoop. Maybe, you know, a rare alien metal that, I don't know. I'm stretching here.
Well, hey, that's their badge of courage, is if the wing gets all torn up. Took one out.
They were saying in the metals it has iron impurities. It gives it a little tan color on the inside. So whatever they have can't be too much stronger than what we already have.
Yeah, that's true.
That's interesting.
I'm going to throw up another picture here, because along with the Scythe, there was another picture of the Vanduul harvester. So I'm going to put that up there. A different perspective of it. I think we saw one drawing somewhere. Now this is going to be a little different. And there's a bit of size reference. If you kind of look in the middle bottom of the picture, you can see a few of them around the ship.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't say what it is. I mean, harvester. Are we talking a mining ship?
What's
Are we talking something? Yeah, what is it harvesting?
What is it harvesting? Is it something that runs along the surface of a planet you're attacking and harvests food? I mean, you guys are a little bit younger than me. I don't know if you remember the series V that just made a comeback, but that brings that to mind as well, where they come for food.
Now, I remember V. I still got that on VHS tape somewhere.
Nice.
Way to date yourself. Thanks.
All right, and one more picture they showed, and they titled it an organic bomber. Now, maybe that's
organic.
A bad name. Yeah, maybe
are the bombs organic, or is the ship organic? Because if the bombs are organic, that's a whole nother can of worms, as it were.
The bombs do look odd. I mean, it looks like they're dropping some ancient dinosaur-like cephalopod, I don't know, on people.
Aren't those the pieces from Battleship? Isn't that what those are?
I don't think so.
That must be the organic bombs, but yeah, that just makes me think too. What is it they do? Organic bombs? Is it like, I don't know, chemical warfare they might do, or
probably biological warfare?
Are you sure it's the bombs that are organic, or is it the ship that's organic?
The ship doesn't look organic to me.
Well, the bombs don't look particularly organic either.
They don't look that mechanical.
And we noticed this picture too. There are 3 other ships. 2 of them are hard to see because they're overlaying the bomber in the back, but one of them's on the bottom of the screen, much closer. They haven't named what that thing is.
It looks like some kind of fighter or support ship. It's hard to tell, though. Very difficult.
Yeah. Makes me wonder. It's like a little sneak preview of something else there. Yeah, I've got one more picture I'll show up, definitely before we get into, because they have now a PBR, video of it. But this is how, like, Chris Roberts and Richard Garriott over on Shroud of the Avatar, how they support each other and support other Kickstarter projects. Here is the special Vanduul polearm for certain backers of Shroud of the Avatar. And if we were to go back and look at some of those pictures I just showed of the Vanduul, that does look like, you know, what the Vanduul are holding there.
Hmm.
So it's funny. So
Interesting.
there's, you know, a Vanduul polearm that you can get in a medieval game.
A lot of the Kickstarters have been doing cross-platform support. We've seen it a lot with Shroud of the Avatar and Star Citizen, and also a game that didn't make it recently, Pantheon.
Yeah, we're hoping to see more of that. Well, hopefully they aren't giving up on that one because I know it did have a lot of fans.
I hope it's in Team Fortress Classic too.
All right. Now come back to us. Came back from that wonderful, nice imagery, and now come back to us. But I tell you, so a lot of updates, but it's like we had to focus on that Scythe, and that's a rare ship if you did get it. Early was made available early in Kickstarter, and I know that you know, one of our guildmates that has just about every Star Citizen ship under the sun does not have the Vanduul Scythe.
Yeah, it was gone by the time he got in. I was in when they had it, but I did not put the money in for it.
Yeah.
Kind of regret that now, but
Yeah, of course, I don't know if I'd want to fly it. On the other hand, practicing at certain other aerial games in preparation for Star Citizen, I have had more than one accidental collision in the air. So.
yeah, with that ship, it's encouraged to hit other ships. So, you know, that's what's making me think after they explained the wing imbalance and what it was, I'm thinking, you know, that'd be a really good ship for me. Because then when I run into someone, it's intentional, not an accident. Whether it was intended or not.
All right. I think we're ready. We're going to go ahead and give a view of that video here. So this is only the second one because they had showed the Avenger with PBR, physical based rendering, something like that.
Physically based rendering.
Okay. So you know, the Scythe is only the second one to get that treatment and get its own, you know, fun video of it. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up here. Alrighty.
That's just pretty awesome.
I like how the
Doesn't
wings
look like
both
there's
fold.
yeah. Doesn't look like there's gonna be a lot of leg room in that.
No, although the Vanduul are taller than us, but still.
Yeah, they are. About what do you figure that comes in? If that human most 6 feet, you figure the Vanduul's got to be at least 8 to 9.
That'd be Kareem
6'40".
Abdul-Jabbar. I'm dating myself again. Yeah, only 7
Which
feet
would be
and a
bad
half,
if you both weren't so much younger than me. Because when you say you date yourself, Thamin, I'm like, well, yeah. Thanks.
And they
What
had
color's
wonderful.
your ship, Memo?
They had wonderful mood music to that thing too. I thought nice and spooky.
Should be.
There's not
Well,
much.
you're reptilian space monsters to have that creepy background music.
There's not much cargo space to it, so that's all gonna be fighter. And then the caterpillars or whatever they're gonna use in the meantime, or support
Harvester.
come in and clean it all up. Yep, harvesters, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Well, it kind of. I would say that it was kind of the counterpart to the Hornet,
Mm.
which I
I
mean,
could
there's
see-
no creature comforts there either. It's a it's a flying gun.
Yeah, that was one thing I didn't cover. It does say that it's more maneuverable than the Hornet, but it also has only fixed guns, while the Hornet does have that turret and
Ball
a little
turret.
bit more armament.
Well, the military version has the ball turret. The regular version does not. So
The Hornet also
It-
gets
it
one
would-
more missile just in case.
yeah, it would
Keep
make
it at bay.
sense. It would be more maneuverable because you got to hit stuff with the giant blade wing.
Yes, yeah. Or some stuff comes at you, you just got to maneuver so you look like, yes, I did that on purpose. That was my plan.
That's pretty much what I'm gonna go with. Whatever I'm flying, Constellation, Hornet, whatever. I meant to do that. That was an intended counter tactic.
Hey, you got
You better
something else
practice
we
that.
can. Oh, go ahead.
Saying you better practice that. You didn't get it all out in one try.
I know.
Uh,
Wouldn't be believable anyways.
So I also got in front of me of all the updates we didn't cover. I don't have anything covering the mining stuff. Hopefully next show, because there was a lot of good looking stuff there too to get pictures of.
Yes, we're all excited about rocks. Yes.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for some more info on the salvage ship. That's one of the things that really interested me, and it hit the goal and people voted on it, and we haven't heard anything else about it.
Everything's
So,
work in progress, man.
Yeah, I know, but we have been up till lately rather information starved.
Yes. So I was saying, then all this stuff came out with the update. It's like, man, I can't make the show that long. Especially since if you're joining us live, the Grievance Girls are also going to be streaming tonight in their game. So that'll be 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So
What game are they playing, Thamin?
that I didn't look up. I know they're playing, but I didn't check it out.
Gotta put him on the spot here.
Woopnyo, do you have anyone you could ask to find out?
Honey, what game are y'all playing? Gamer Girls tonight. We're not. It's ladies' night.
Oh,
It's not a stream
They
night.
hang out and talk about lady things.
okay. Well, in that case, I got something to talk about here. I have the Hangar 11 patch notes. And keep in mind, for those of you that have a freelancer and you can walk on that ship and you can see what's in front of you now.
They have all 4 variants now, right?
Oh, that I hadn't heard, unless that was new.
It's like
I-
the Max, the TL, TD, something like that. It's got some good stuff on it.
I need to pay more attention to the website. Somebody was working all day and then driving through Blizzard, and
I don't know that me and Whoop are interested in your lame excuses, Thamin.
well, now I'll have to get it if I knew that was coming up. But you can see out the windows. I guess I was excited
Nice.
enough about that. The inside lighting is buggy. The inside lighting, you're going to stub your toe walking to the window, but you can see out the window.
Did they fix the shower?
I couldn't see the shower. Like I say, the inside lighting was like non-existent. You know,
Well, I don't even want to hear about any updates until they fix the shower issues, because we got to focus on what's important here. If the shower issues aren't fixed, does it matter if you can see in or out of the windows?
How long were you stuck in there?
I think he means used. The Constellation had the bathroom door stuck.
Oh, I never got stuck.
And you were gone for several weeks then, too.
Yeah, I never got stuck in the bathroom of the Constellation. It was just an awful big bathroom. I mean, it's bigger than my bathrooms at home, so.
Alright, so let me throw into the Hangar 11 patch notes here with a few things underlined to bring up. New features. Moving targets added to the firing range. We already discussed Freelancer Cockpit updated. Firing range sound improvements. Now this one. Blue activate buttons added to Cutlass. I don't know what it is, but I'm jealous.
What color were they before?
One thing is, one of the Cutlass is one of the last things to be thrown in the hangar, and it's got blue activate buttons, and none of my ships have that.
The transformer, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know what it does, but it's like I want one now. Additional Cutlass functionality added, and ammo items now display on holotable, which is missiles. Alright, you can get stuck in the deluxe hangar door. More door issues. Sorry, these are going down to known issues now. Cutlass does not display on holotable. Hands offset when grabbing controls in Avenger. Now here, character must jump to access Constellation elevator platform. You tried that one yet, Memo?
I have not. But I will get on that without a doubt.
My roars just sounded so much better and better.
That means the Constellation is no longer disability accessible. They've got to fix that. If you got to jump up there.
Yeah, it's always been that way. I didn't know that wasn't the way it was supposed to be honest with you. That you didn't have to jump up there to get on the elevator.
Oh,
that's an advanced feature.
Finally get where you can walk up to it and you think you're being spoiled now.
Mm-hmm.
Incorrect gun geometry on starboard side of Freelancer. Yep, they're uneven. Engine missing from Aurora LX. Now, are you sure that's a bug, or you are catering to pirates, you know?
I'm not missing my engines. They're still there. They don't function, but they're still there.
And here's bug fixes. Various geometry, collision improvements, first-person mouse look, third-person mouse look, third-person mouse look, third-person camera view. Skip through those. Now, bug fix. Resolved crash issue involving Cutlass. Did that have anything to do with the blue activate button?
I don't know. Maybe it was red at that point. I didn't get the Cutlass. I wanted a ship that I could go into the hangar and see, so.
How did someone fly the Cutlass to get it to crash anyway?
No.
Good point.
Crash.
Alright. Ship animation improvements. Bullet impact and particle graphic polish. Buggy no longer moves on its own. That could be dangerous.
I didn't have one of those either. I'm not one of the rich guys that has a buggy for his hangar.
Yeah, I didn't have one either. But now that's spooky if that thing starts following you around the hangar.
You probably just set it to go and it goes to the other side.
And if anyone in the live audience has any questions they want to throw out, certainly feel free. Okay, can no longer exit buggy if there isn't a clear spot for the player. Can no longer exit buggy while it's moving. Well, there went my excitement. Then weapon mount targets health, ball turret added to the Super Hornet. It was missing for a while.
Have you tried out your ball mount yet?
I loaded up the guns on it, but I haven't figured a way you could like get in the second seat and aim it.
Second seat for what?
I've got the second seat on my Hornet.
Yeah, but the ball, it's a class 4 for the turret on that. It's not a manned turret.
Yeah, I guess I figured the second seat would aim it, but But yes, they did say you can do that from all the front seat too. But I just assume that unless you have like an Oculus Rift, that it would only fire
Yeah.
forward. I don't know. Or you use the second seat and you have your PC NPC co-pilot mess with it.
Hmm.
You know, I figured probably the best way to fire the thing. All right. Um, Player no longer moves forward when sidestepping. I don't recall that happening, but
Either.
another collision issue with the Hornet, and no longer able to clip through Footlocker. So, all right, that's all I had for the Hangar 11 patch notes. All right, I've got time. I can throw out a few 10 for the chairman, I suppose.
You guys see the new next Great Starship?
I haven't seen it.
No.
I've not seen the new one.
They get some really good ideas on there. I'm excited to see them. There's the actuating pulse on certain guns looks really great in the animations. You're able to vote for a team, which one you want to go on next. I like it a lot.
I did forget that. Yeah, folks have to get their chance if they have been following it to vote one of their teams back in if someone got voted out that they liked. And I did notice, yeah, a lot of them seem to be going with a repeating type gun. You know, not too many, like, I don't know, big single shot ones.
Well, that's how you show off your animation. If you're going to do a pulse rifle, the whole thing has to shake, and then it's slow. If you're going to show off what you can actually do, you got to do something that repetitive, and you can see how the light hits certain spots and the different the architecture of it. It's all really mechanical, but you have to see it in action.
I was wishing we'd gotten a team on that, but I couldn't have contributed to it.
I'm a dreamer.
Alright, 10 for the chairman. Let's see. He talked about the Banu worlds will have spaceports, although a lot won't be mapped at launch. These alien spaceports will be different in their architecture. Each alien race will have a specific design and feel to them.
You could pretty much just guess that was going to happen anyways. I mean, they did it in Star Wars. Why not do it here?
Oh yeah, yeah. Star Wars 2, you could pretty much tell which planet by. They kind of went into a little more with the Class 4, Class 5 turrets, which I think has been pretty well explained now. I mean, the Class 4s being remote, Class 5 are manned, and the class system, which used to only go up to 4, now goes up to 10, which includes various capital ship gun mounts.
Yeah, on the Constellation, right behind the cockpit, you have a gun below and a gun above, and there's a little elevator where you can go down or up, like just a little, like jump seat that you set in to go down into the bottom turret or up into the top turret.
Which just kind of feels like what the Millennium Falcon did when Han and Luke had that one.
Very
scene.
much so.
I keep on telling you that ship reminds me of it.
Well, they said it's a cross. They described it as a cross between the Serenity and the Millennium Falcon, so that was pretty much what sold me on it right there. Two of my favorite ships.
You just gotta add a Scythe wing to it and you'll be all set.
Yeah, replace the Merlin with a Scythe. That would work.
There you go.
Detachable Scythe.
Well, it's got a little detachable snub fighter. I don't see why you couldn't,
Yeah.
just tack on a Scythe on there maybe.
The wings sticking out so you can hit somebody at the bottom of the ship. And
You just
scrape
run. You could do it sideways and have the big blade sticking out below, so you could unintentionally run and gut.
Alright. So here's another one from 10 for the chairman. The person was asking about making money on a cruise line. And Chris Roberts is looking for different ways that folks can make money in-game. There will be public transport, but he's warm to the idea that someone can run a cruise liner, tow ships, or fulfill other roles and make money in-game with it.
Some kind of taxi, yeah. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
And I think you could make a killing off these cruise liners by setting hospitals up at the end of the cruise line to deal with, the mass infections you're going to have on board on the way there.
And
that's horrible.
Well, if they're going to make it real life, I mean.
Yeah, some of those have been pretty bad lately, real life cruise liners. But aside from the making money in game, He said on the more recent one, though, not so much any plans immediately for folks making real life money in the game. Because he said there's lots of legal questions and they have to check how balancing their own currency is within the universe before they would even, you know, plan on something
Yeah,
like that.
that usually enrages more people than it makes happy, and the legal ramifications are, are what they are.
Blizzard
think
tried
he
to
was-
do that with Diablo 2. It's not worth the hassle, the time and effort. No, it's just not.
And the amount of people that it frosted off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think too that would. I think he was trying to let him down gently too when he was answering that question. Seemed like it.
I mean, Entropy is the only one that I know of that lets you put money into the game and take money out from it too. But
Yeah, the only money that's supposed to go into the game and go to anybody else is from us to Roberts Industries.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way they like it.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, and he does say, how do people kind of find success in the game? And Chris Roberts was saying, folks with lesser play time may get just as much enjoyment as those who invest many hours, but it comes down to, the individual definition of what they consider a win or success. He's trying to allow numerous things to do which would help folks with even limited time investment find success in other ways, and the goal is have a lot of different things to do. So,
Nice.
Loot,
think that
pillage,
helps too.
scavenge. What else do you need?
well, I like that coming as a dad who may suddenly have to leave quickly and chase after a kid or something. And we had a question about if you own an Idris and Hornets, because 3 Hornets are supposed to park on the Idris, and Viper Alpha was actually asking about parking them there. And Chris Roberts said that Idris ships have an inventory and are designed to carry Hornets, so you can place like one of your Hornets in the ship's inventory and thus have it in the ship's hangar. Rob Irving later said that you can park Gladiators in an Idris too.
That only makes sense. I think we need more Idrises and more ships.
We have 1 or 2 Idrises, don't we?
That's not enough.
I know we have at least 1.
We need like 40.
We have at least 2 now. Yeah. And we're not putting numerous large Scythe wings on the side of the Idris in case someone is really bad at piloting that.
That's awesome.
No crashing the Idris. They even said, I had to put down this quote, because he said, the goal is to make this the most lived-in, immersive, detailed universe possible.
Well, that sounds good to everybody that plays games, so how can you go wrong with a statement like that?
Mm-hmm.
Time.
Yes, exactly.
He says there will be other dogfighter designs, and I think specifically this question was UEE dogfighter, but there'll be something more than just the Hornet. There may be a space superiority fighter as well as a lighter craft than the Hornet.
What about the Mustang? The other, wasn't that was that another catch-all ship like the Aurora, or was that also a fighter-based ship?
I think they were still putting that as a catch-all civilian ship like the Aurora. So that's what I'm thinking when he was talking about this. I think he was specifically referring to UEE ships, naval ships.
The Mustang looks more like a light attack run ship. I don't think it can hold its own against too big of a ship like the Scythe. I think would eat it alive.
In the dogfighting module, they have, they're going to start with the Hornet, the Aurora, the Cutlass, the Avenger, and the 300i, the 300 series. So, I mean, the Mustang's comparable to the Aurora. I was wondering why it wasn't included.
And probably just because of its design stage. But otherwise, you would think, yeah, it would. It would fall right in there. Okay. Goal of organizations. I think we kind of touched on this before. Will ultimately be able to tax tithe members, have common assets such as ships and real estate, or controlling an economic node. And he was talking about that right before he talked about the whole mining base thing and all that before that came out.
Yeah, that just makes sense. That basically sounds like a guild interface with a guild hall to me, if you want to put it in simpler terms. Lots of guild interfaces have, where so much of whatever you get goes to further the guild, which, as a longtime guild leader, is, that's the way it should be.
Yeah. That'd sound interesting too if we could. Oh, go ahead.
EverQuest 2 had a really good system for that. They had their own guild hall, and you could put any of the features inside, and like the house features. You can build like stairs and I don't know, put things on the walls and make it look all different. It was pretty cool. And every month or so, you had to pay as a guild in order to keep the guild hall. Otherwise, it would shut down and nobody would get a chance to use it. There were busts in there. There's portals in there. There was a bank system. There was a harvesting system. We had like 10 of each of the crafting tables, so we were able to craft whatever you wanted. It was a real good area to be a base. That was awesome. Now, if they can put that into Star Citizen, maybe make a mobile, possibly multiples of them, or an easy transport between them, that would make it very, very sought after. People would be drawn into the guilds and into groups, and yeah, more people would do it.
It's a good idea, because I mean, this was still, I think, kind of pointing out with controlling. You could control a space station in an area that has valuable resources, but it does bring up too, when we talk about capital ships, if a guild would eventually work toward its own, like say Bengal-sized kind of capital ship, so it can have a moving base of operations for some of that stuff too, which we'd love to see. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. I think they already stated that you're not going to have access to capital ships or space stations, but that could always change too.
Now they talked about guild versus guild conflict. They think of something, if two guilds were openly at war, it would mostly occur in the fringes of UEE space, because over lawless areas and over economic nodes. Chris Roberts kind of warned them that they can't expect to go starting firefights around Earth orbit, or the UEE is going to be stepping in, and that's only fair.
Good,
yeah.
That's the way that should be.
Yeah.
If two guilds want to go duke it out, they need to get out of everybody else's way.
Doesn't say I wouldn't be surprised if some clan tried to take over a popular spot just to see if they could. But yeah, I'm sure
we'll see that. There's some guilds known for that kind of limit pushing that are going to be involved in Star Citizen, so we very well might see some of that.
Yeah. We've seen it in multiple games. A lot of the same mentality. I want this. I'm going to take it from you. Yeah, we're going to push you back. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, and I can understand that happening in this one too. Well, a couple of things I had was just one of them goes. They plan to realistically simulate inertia and impacts for such things as colliding ships and such.
I'm interested to see how they're going to pull that off. That sounds very interesting, but I don't know. That's one of those I'll have to see.
Yeah.
How's that going to work with the Scythe? With the Scythe?
It'll be all over the place.
I guess it slices you open like a like a tin can.
See if she's still fresh. Come on.
Something that Constellation, you better make sure that everyone's got their seatbelts so they're not going all over the place like the old Star Trek series. And if someone tries and fails to board your ship, basically they disable your ship, they board it, and you shoot them up, it wouldn't be considered stealing if you kept their ship.
Well, that sounds fair. Nothing ventured, nothing gained there.
So I like that. So yep, you stand something to lose if you board a ship and fail. Alrighty.
Wonder if you keep the LTI with it or not, or if they lose it.
Oh, you probably wouldn't have the
LTI
LTI
the owner.
Because I figured the same way lawful citizens would have LTI that would not work if the pirates grabbed it. I'd say the pirate companies would probably get to a point where they wouldn't, they would say their own thing too. They probably wouldn't respect a LTI of a ship that fell into the other hands.
Why
I'm
don't they
sure
just put
they'd
like a
have
beacon on it?
claws.
And you like put a beacon on it so that way you can see where it is, like where in space it is. You can track it, hunt them down,
Low
take it
jacket.
back. Yeah.
You know, the way some of the stuff they were talking about on behind the scenes, I wouldn't be surprised if they put a little gadget like that. It looks like they're trying to put a lot of moves and counter moves and just about everything with the ship-to-ship warfare and kind of the bigger picture of things as well.
I would expect them to be able to like shield against it. I'd expect them to like take that part of the ship and just cut it out and leave it out in hyperspace, and you go back to find it. It's just this blinking red dot, whatever. That's where the salvaging can come in. They could just rip apart the ship and use it for parts.
Yes.
But that would be something pretty cool to see.
Or you go in and you pull the transponder out, stick it on a rocket, and have it meet them as they're coming at you.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's pretty fun too, though, the transponder and that idea. If you didn't read the patch notes and didn't know it was there, and all of a sudden these like 8 ships pop out of the nearest jump gate and head straight for you. Like, you didn't read the patch notes? We got those things in game now.
Oh, time out.
Well, I think it's about time to wrap it up here. Everyone's got anything last minute thoughts?
I'm good. Thanks for tuning in, all.
Yeah, thanks for listening to us talk.
All right. Yeah, and thanks for joining us, folks. Next show, had to look at my calendar. It must be the 8th. So March 8th, 2 weeks from now, again, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Give us something to talk about next time. Go on YouTube, like us, and watch the videos and tell us what you want us to talk about.
Absolutely.
We're going to watch all the videos and check out the stuff as it comes to us.
Yeah. And don't forget and watch the video to like us and tune into some other grievance shows we talk about very other games on the horizon. All right. Take care, folks.